Okay, this is what they call a 3-pass coil. It's what we do now is rifle the inside of the copper to get more turbulent flow in the copper. And by doing that, we get better heat exchanger. You asked, the copper is getting thinner and thinner and thinner. So when I first started this, copper was 0.062. Now it's 0.006.
Wow.
Okay. So we get what we can't call nest corrosion or atmospheric corrosion. So it's literally eating itself inside out and outside in. But it usually is only 10-15 thousandths of what the corrosion is. But to keep that from happening, we're covering the outside with special coatings, usually nitrate or silicone. And by doing that, it extends the life of the coils. Can you see any rifling in there?
Any rifling? Define rifling.
Rifling.
I see corrosion.
Well, some of that is when we sawed it. Rifling is when we take the copper, we put ridges in it.
Do I see ridges in the copper?
No, you do not.
I don't.
Okay. So the thickness from here to here, when I started, and that's one of the thicker ones, is 0.065. So it's a very thick piece of copper. And now some of the new stuff is 0.006.
1/10.
Yeah. So this is off the train unit, and now it's what they're doing is making the copper thinner, and they're making a smaller diameter, so it holds less volume of refrigerant. So this system will hold 22 pounds of refrigerant. This one will hold 12. This is a microfine, so right in here is the tube, and this will literally hold 4. So we've gone from 24 to 4 pounds of refrigerant for a 3-ton.
And what's the efficiency? Gone down?
Tripled.
It's tripled.
Yeah. The thinner the copper, the more efficient, because you have more heat exchanger surface.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah. So in my life, we've literally gone from the standard of 5.5, 6 SEER to now where your minimum is 14. And they make units all the way up to 30.
A SEER is the definition of
seasonal energy efficiency ratio. This is off an old train, and this is the valve. So the refrigerant would push up, and this would max out about 12 SEER, 12 ER. And now we're using scrolls, and they're maxing out about 30. So now it's what we do is they'll put solder on the coil, and they'll do the returns like this, put them in a room, and it literally melts the whole thing at once, cool it down, then they test for leaks. So if you notice, the copper's thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner.
oh my.
So this is the check valve off of a heat pump. So the check valve faces each other. So this is a little bit of a metering device, but basically a check valve, so you don't get refrigerant flow backwards. So it's what makes a heat pump is the defrost board, the reversing valve, so refrigerant pressure goes in these little tubes right in here. So electrically it moves, forces refrigerant, and then the piston moves. And it bypasses. This is called a reversing valve or an H valve. Even though that you have.
So that does.
This reverses the refrigerant flow to make it into a heat pump.
Okay.
This is a filter dryer. And notice you have a screen right here. And if you don't use nitrogen when you're brazing, this screen will fill up. This is a muffler. What's the difference between a muffler? Even though the model number, if you look right here, the model number of both of them is identical. But one's a tree filter dryer and one's a muffler.
And the only way to tell is by the two chambers?
Weight.
Okay.
Feel the weights on them.
Twice it. Okay.
Yep. Also, you would put this on the liquid side, and this would go in between the compressor and the condenser. So this really quiets down the refrigerant. This is the king valve. So when we're putting the vacuum on the machine, we take this radiator out to make this larger volume. And then we'll just vacuum from the evaporator coil out. Very effective. Then, once a complete vacuum, open it up, puts refrigerant from inside the unit, and then you can start charging. This is a TXV. And so this temperature bulb operates the piston. If you don't use nitrogen when you're brazing in, you'll fill up this screen right in here. What happens when you fill in the screen full of copper oxide?
It clogs.
Yep. And then what happens?
There's no transfer of the refrigerant. The refrigerant gets blocked.
That's true. Then you get really, compressor doesn't cool. Compressor overheats. Press fittings or to use nitrogen. When I started doing this, we used a lot of timers. Now we're using boards to defrost. Here you put a timer on every 30 minutes, every 60 minutes, you would just automatically go into defrost. Now we use sensors. It's time and temperature. Time and temperature. So this is triple the efficiency